and leadership dispute within the party in their respective constituencies as the primary reasons for their decision to cross over to the opposition APC. And the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Kadiri Obafemi Hamzat, has assured delegates at the ongoing All Progressive Congress primary election of free, credible and transparent exercise. He assured delegates from the 20 local government areas and the 37 local council development areas that their vote would count. Hamzat urged the delegates to be peaceful and comport themselves in calm and orderly manner during and after the exercise. Still on political issues, experts believe that the leadership crisis currently affecting the Labour Party is far from over and could have serious implications for its future. Speaking exclusively to TV360 Nigeria about the wave of suspensions and internal wrangling within the party, legal expert Liberos Oshoma expressed concern over the party's stability and preparedness for future elections. He warned that unless the Labour Party urgently addresses its internal issues and establishes a clear leadership structure, its chances of mounting a credible challenge in the 2027 general elections could be significantly weakened.
If Abure does not see the governor and the lawmakers as members of his party, suspending them is almost like seeing people who are not, members of your party, just waiting them up. Because if he believes that he's the alpha and omega of the party, and these people are not kowtowing to his whims and caprices, suspending them already means they were out. So it was just like taking a decision that has been a done deal. But I do not see this crisis being resolved because even if INEC recognizes one faction against the other, they are still going to go to court. But that is why, before INEC can even recognize any faction, there must be an attempt at calling for a NEC meeting or a congress of the party. And so, how do you call a congress of a party when it is obvious that almost all the state executive members are in one side, apart from a few? And that is why you still have, the National Working Committee of the party, the executive in one area, supporting Abure, and some persons also on one side as caretaker committee. So they are not saying that they are the executive, but they are caretakers. So it will be difficult for them to even call a congress of the party and elect, officials that INEC will recognize. So that's why I said I do not even see them having candidates in the election if they do not sit down to either agree to agree and agree to disagree.
And former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has condemned the EFCC over the detention of former lawmaker Mohammed Kazaure, calling it a violation of due process. In a statement on his official X handle, Atiku accused the agency of continuing a pattern of lawless arrests without proper justification, referencing the recent case of social commentator Very Dark Man as another example. He alleged that Kazaure was taken from Kano to Abuja and is being held without charges or access to his legal team or family. Atiku emphasized that even where arrests are justified, they must follow legal procedures, warning that the EFCC is undermining constitutional rights and operating with impunity. To security matters now, insecurity will form a major discourse as the Northern Governors and Traditional Rulers meet in Kaduna on Saturday over pressing issues affecting the region. The meeting is taking place at the Sir Kashim Ibrahim Government House in Kaduna. The session is expected to address the escalating insecurity that continues to plague the North, along with other critical issues such as poverty, the high rate of out-of-school children, and various socioeconomic challenges that have been impeding the region's growth. The meeting will be chaired by the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum and Governor of Gombe State, Inuwa Yaya, while Governor Uba Sani of Kaduna State will deliver his welcome address as the chief host. Meanwhile, Borno State Governor Babagana Umar Zulum has ordered an immediate ban on the sale of petrol in filling stations across Bama local government area, including Bama and Banki towns. The directive comes following a strategic meeting with security agencies as part of intensified efforts to curb insecurity in the region. Governor Zulum's spokesperson Dauda Iliya announced the decision in a statement issued on Saturday, citing security-related risks associated with the unregulated movement and use of fuel in volatile areas. Zulum reaffirmed his administration's commitment to achieving lasting peace in the state and urged residents to cooperate in the fight against insurgency. In other stories, the Nigerian government has approved a new economic policy tagged Nigeria First, which mandates all government ministries, departments and agencies to prioritize Nigerian-made goods and services in their procurement processes. The policy, seen as a major push towards promoting local content and self-reliance, is aimed at stimulating domestic production, creating jobs and reducing Nigeria's over-dependence on import. TV360's Tamilore Akinkolye has more details in this report.
At the last Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, Nigeria's Minister of Information Mohammed Idris announced the launch of the Nigeria First economic policy. The policy directs all government agencies to stop buying foreign products or services if they are already available locally, whether it's technology, construction materials, office equipment, or even software. The government says this move is part of a bigger plan to grow local industries, create jobs, and reduce Nigeria's dependence on foreign imports, especially as the Naira continues to struggle.
If there are any businesses to be done by anybody, the priority will be Nigerian first. If you have any local content, there is no reason for you to go outside this country to import. Now, this is in the form of an executive bill that will soon be issued by Mr. President. Already, Council has approved a set of those proposals, which I'm going to read to you, and the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation has been directed to prepare an executive order to be issued by Mr. President.
The Nigeria First policy has drawn mixed reactions, with many praising the intent but warning of serious implementation hurdles.
In order for this not to be just another policy pronouncement, because what I have found in my personal research is that we have amazing policy statements, amazing policy documents. We've got amazing plans, development plans and all of that. They never ever get implemented or implemented properly. So one of the things that I think should happen with this is an immediate action from all federal government agencies and which will then provide leadership to the states, subnational governments to do the same. And what action am I speaking about? I think that if the president wants to take the bull by the horn and show the world that he's serious, and Nigerians are serious, all of the foreign sourced, foreign produced items, starting from vehicles, whatever it is that is produced in Nigeria that currently has been purchased in the last 2 years, I think they should be sold. Now, this sounds radical, but I think this would be a strong statement of intent.
There are also concerns about the capacity of local manufacturers to meet the scale of demand this policy could create.
You talk about agriculture, yes, fine. Before now, we could easily feed ourselves. But it's a challenge now because of the insecurity. So if government want to say Nigerian First policy, what will make the agricultural sector strive is to make sure that they are able to give them security. Then also cost of funding. You can't continue to hike rates and you think that companies will be able to compete. That's why till this moment, we have not been able to take advantage of the African Continental Trade Agreement. That's why we have the population.
Experts say the government must put clear policies in place to ensure that this policy is successful.
Procedures on how this will be implemented so that you don't give room for a lot of corrupt tendency or enough of nepotism also because the person, even if it's not qualified. And so that for me is the main challenge in terms of monitoring and in making sure that everything is done well and rightly so.
The Nigeria First policy is bold. It says Nigeria will buy Nigerian first, not out of charity, but as a national growth strategy. But whether this policy truly helps grow the economy or becomes another forgotten promise will depend on how seriously the government follows through. Tamilore Akinkwole, TV360, Lagos.
The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has rescued a 2-year-old girl renamed Chiamaka Favor, who was trafficked from Abuja to Aba and sold for 100,000 naira. The rescue operation was carried out by NAPTIP's Abia State Command on May 8, 2025, following the arrest of the suspected trafficker by the Department of State Services in Abia State. According to a statement on the agency's official Facebook page on Friday, the child was trafficked from Abuja to Aba, where the suspect, who allegedly sold her for 100,000 naira, was arrested by officials of the Department of State Services. In the crucial appeal, NAPTIP has called on members of the public for help to identify and locate the child's biological parents or relatives to aid in her safe reintegration. Anyone with useful information is urged to contact the agency immediately. Well, let's now head to Lagos, where Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to strengthen healthcare infrastructure across the state, with a focus on emergency response, maternal care, and disease prevention. Sanwo-Olu gave the assurance at the commissioning of the newly constructed Custodian Accident and Emergency Center in Ekpe, a project developed in partnership with the Lagos State Ministry of Health and Custodian Social Responsibility Foundation. The governor described the facility as a bold step forward, noting that it will significantly improve access to urgent medical services for residents in Ekpe and nearby riverine communities.
We've been able to preserve life, and we'll be able to now take it forward to know what additional level of medical facility will be required. So it's a well thought out process. It's a well thought out process to ensure that, the objective of custodian investment itself, like they said, they started a company like an insurance company. They're paying back, insurance premium and rest of it. But beyond that is to be a socially responsible organization that now wants to take that message beyond just providing one arm, but to look at the entire ecosystem of ensuring that life can be saved, we can have a better economy, and we can have a better social economic development in our various cities and states. And we believe this fits very well with the objective of our government. And like it's also been explained, there are several facilities that are there. Once we go in, we can see it. My advice is that as we are handing over this to you, right, let us see it as another public asset that we need to preserve and we need to protect. We need to ensure that we protect and we preserve it. It is a facility that has been built and has been built well. Let's ensure that we come in here and we utilize it. All of the staff that are going to be working here, all of the support, medical, first responders that are going to be working here will be well trained, will be well motivated, but to ensure that there is a synergy between the patients and the medical staff. Everybody has a role and a responsibility, that comes along with this.
And it's so this media summit organized by the Bayelsa State Council of the Nigeria Union of Journalists has opened in Yanogwa with journalists and stakeholders from within and outside the state in attendance. The summit, which focuses on the role of the media in shaping local narratives and promoting indigenous culture, emphasized the need for journalists to amplify their voices and stories of the people of Bayelsa. NUJ National President Alazan Yaya and Bayelsa State NUJ Chairman Tare Yola both stressed the importance of telling local stories in indigenous languages, producing culturally relevant documentaries, and using digital platforms not just for trends but as tools for education, preservation, and empowerment. We'll go on a short break here, but still to come on news now. U.S. President Donald Trump says India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. We'll bring you details after this break.
the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
Wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. Political realignment is underway in Kebbi State as 3 of the 4 position members in the State House of Assembly have defected from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressive Congress. Speaker Mohammed Usman Zuru announced the defections during plenary, reading letters from the lawmakers. They cited internal party crisis and leadership disputes in their constituencies as reason for leaving the PDP. We also informed you that northern governors and traditional rulers are set to converge today at the Sakashim Ibrahim Government House in Kaduna for a high-level meeting focused on tackling the region's most pressing challenges. The session is expected to address the escalating insecurity that continues to plague the north. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. And in the world of business, the Lagos State government is set to domesticate the National Women Economic Empowerment Policy to boost women's participation in agriculture, entrepreneurship, and emerging industries. The Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Cecilia Dada, disclosed this during a ministerial press briefing marking the second anniversary of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's second term in office held in Alausa, Ikeja. She revealed that nearly 2 billion naira has been spent to empower vulnerable residents, and a total of 10,464 individuals have graduated from the state 20 vocational training centers, with 5,013 more expected to graduate in the coming month.
Our students that have graduated from our skills acquisition centers across the 5 divisions of Lagos State are given equipment. As a matter of fact, they are 70% of our beneficiaries for our micro-enterprise support initiative. And the ministry has empowered a total of 10,385 indigent and vulnerable women through this initiative across the state, and also ensured that most of the families of the slain heroes of the Nigerian Legion were captured in our empowerment program. Beneficiaries were empowered with working tools such as cash grants, POS machines, professional air dryers, barbing sets with sterilizers and generators, barbecue grillers, popcorn machines, smoking kilns, cameras and tripod stands, cake mixers, aluminum fabricating machines, carpentry tools, snail pens, milling machines, industrial cookers, tile laying machines, gari processing equipment, sewing machine, stoning machine, fumigating machine. I must also mention here that apart from our students, we looked at the indigent and artisans that have gone through training but do not have money to buy the equipment. Then people that cannot be trained, the vulnerable, like the old women, those are the ones that we give the milling machines. And then some young ladies and young boys who have gone through certain trainings, but we cannot give every one of them equipment. Some are giving cash grants, and some are giving POS machine.
And at least 119,000 user accounts in Nigeria have been compromised so far in 2025. A report by the cybersecurity firm Surfshark has shown. The company ranks Nigeria third in sub-Saharan Africa for total breaches since 2004, with 23.2 million compromised accounts. Surfshark's analysis indicates an 85% drop in the number of leaked accounts in Nigeria from the fourth quarter of 2024 to the first quarter of 2025. That's in line with a global trend that saw leaked accounts plunge 93% year-on-year from 973.7 million in the first quarter of 2024 to just 68.3 million in the first quarter of 2025. However, still on average, one Nigerian account has been leaked every minute in 2025. And on the foreign scene, a United States judge has temporarily blocked several federal agencies from proceeding with the mass boycott of government workers ordered by President Donald Trump in February. U.S. District Court Judge Susan Houston of California ordered a 2-week pause on Friday, writing that the Trump administration's moves to slash the federal workforce likely required approval from Congress. Now, since returning to the White House in January, Trump has directed federal agencies to prepare sweeping workforce reduction plans as part of wider effort by the Elon Musk-headed Department of Government Efficiency to downsize the federal government. So on the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump has disclosed that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire after a fourth day of strikes and counter-strike against each other's military installations. Pakistan's foreign minister also said both countries had agreed to a ceasefire with immediate effect, and India's foreign ministry said it would start at 5 p.m. Indian time. The sudden announcement came on Saturday, on a day when fears spiked that the country's nuclear arsenals might come into play, as Pakistan's military said a top military and civilian body overseeing its nuclear weapons would meet. But Pakistan's defense minister later said no such meeting was scheduled. And on sports, the Chinese embassy in Nigeria has responded to claims the Nigerian athlete missed the Guangzhou World Athletics replay due to delayed visa processing by Chinese authorities. The Athletics Federation of Nigeria had stated that visa delays led to their withdrawal from the May 10 to 11 event, but the embassy disputed it, saying the facts have been misinterpreted. According to the embassy, the National Sports Commission of Nigeria submitted a letter requesting visa assistance on April 24th, and application documents were received by the China Visa Application Center on May 6th. In response, the embassy said they activated an expedited process and issued the visa by May 8th, offering full support and guidance throughout the process. While expressing regret that the athletes missed the competition, the embassy stressed that visa issuance involves sovereign protocols and timely submission of documents. It reaffirmed its commitment to promoting friendly relations and sports cooperation with Nigeria. And Pep Guardiola admits that this season has been the toughest of his 16-year managerial career, as Manchester City's Premier League title challenge collapsed and they exited the Champions League early. The Spaniard has experienced little but success in glitching spells at Barcelona, Bayern Munich and City. But after 4 successive Premier League triumphs, City's form nosedived from late October onwards. Guardiola, whose third-place side travelled to relegated Southampton on Saturday, admitted City's high standard had slipped. And that's up our news bulletin on News Now at this time. Many thanks for joining us. I'm Okpayemi Owosheni. See you next time.
even though it is considered that we have a so-called disability, we really are able persons with different abilities.
For society and development to be included of persons with disabilities, we need to have equal access to education and to knowledge and information. Yet, out of millions of publications each year, fewer than 5% are made available in accessible formats for visually impaired persons. In developing countries, an even smaller percentage of publications are available in accessible formats. The Marrakesh Treaty, as it is called, will greatly expand the availability of artistic and literary works in accessible forms, such as Braille, large print text, and audiobooks. This can make a real difference in the lives of the world's more than 300 million visually impaired persons.
At the end of the day, we must come together and make however and where we are in the world be a place of unification, because me being blind visually doesn't mean that I have to be blind spiritually. And someone being sighted doesn't mean that they should be blind of those things in the world that we need to fix. We have to have inclusion.
Let us not become handicapped again, blind to the issues and the problems of those in need.
Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Sydney Okafor. In keeping with his administration commitment to delivering quality education for students in Lagos State, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has officially opened state-of-the-art classroom blocks, complete with a mini football pitch and a multi-purpose sports court at Keme Balogun Junior Senior College in Ibeshe, Ikorodu. The inauguration marked the commissioning of 16 state-of-the-art classroom blocks for secondary schools, facilitated by the Special Committee on the Rehabilitation of Public Schools across the 6th Education District in Lagos State, in line with the state's Team Plugs agenda. Please take a look at the new state-of-art classroom blocks for secondary schools.
The commissioning of the new classroom blocks is expected to enhance the school's learning environment and improve the quality of education. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who was received by a large crowd of residents and students, said the simultaneous inauguration of 16 new blocks of classrooms across the state is a testament to his administration's commitment to providing top-quality education for all residents. The governor further emphasized that the construction and renovation of these schools not only improve educational quality but also create jobs, stimulate the local economy, and provide livelihoods for workers involved in the projects.
Do one commission or two, we have to do it in concurrent and in large number. And today, in the past 1.5 months, we've been commissioning roads, we've been commissioning drainages. Now is the education sector, which is under a Teams Plus agenda. For some of you that are monitoring, earlier today, we went and commissioned the very ultra-modern, beautiful classroom block in a brand new school of Ajegunle Junior High School in Koshofe local government area on our way here. Also earlier today, with the Permanent Secretary, Tutor General, and 1 or 2 cabinet members, they've gone ahead to commission the Odogunyo Junior Grammar School, also here in Ikorodu. You can see that these ambitious events consolidate our commitment to development and pursuit of educational excellence and the social economic development in our state. Education, we say, is a cornerstone of our Teams Plus agenda. It's the engine that drives economic growth. It reduces inequality and empowers individuals to break the cycle of poverty. By investing in these schools, we're investing in the social economic fiber of our various communities. Earlier today, and you could see it from the video, I was deeply moved when we went to the Ajegunle Junior High School. This was a community that has been denied for the past almost 15 years. When heavy flooding ravaged the entire community and they lost the only school that they had. But about 2.5 years ago, they did road to us passionately and we did responded. Driving into that community this morning brings a nostalgia of the real essence of governance. When government make a promise and you keep a promise. Not only have we done the road into that community, that school had almost 150 pals. We did not consider the extent of what resource we needed to do to give that community a befitting world-class educational institution. And they also have the sporting grounds because a canteen and a football pitch was also constructed for them.
In the address, other speakers say the structures would not only enhance academic excellence, but also provide a conducive environment for learning.
Your action consistently reflects the premium you place on learning, demonstrating a deeper appreciation for its transformative power. Indeed, this is a shining testament to your dedication to educational advancement and holistic well-being of our students.
Keme Balogun got attention following instructions from Mr. Governor when he got information that the post state of the classroom blocks had 3 bungalows here before. To my left here, you see 2 bungalows still existing. In between those 2 bungalows, there is another one. So when we came here, we realized that they are all in derelict situations. We conducted some soil tests, and the result of the soil test immediately advised that we need to demolish one of the bungalows. When we did that, it became obvious that the classroom to student ratio was not adequate. The population spiked, and as a result, when we approached Mr. Governor, the situation we are having here, he instructed the construction of the edifice we are seeing to my right. Thank you very much, sir. To do this building, typical with our modus operandi, standard operating procedures of scripts that have been laid down by Mr. Celibo, we conducted a structural test in this environment to be sure of the type of foundation we are going to put this building on. Because we don't want to assume that Ikorodu is solid soil. So what we do generally as a standard operating procedure that Mr. Governor has insisted we go through is to do a soil test to be sure, because we don't want to have any collapse.
The Lagos government says it has constructed about 1,290 blocks of classrooms across the 6 education districts of the state and also rehabilitated over 4,000 classrooms in both primary and secondary schools in the state within 6 years. It's promised to deliver some of the ongoing road projects in Ikorodu and build more primary and secondary schools for the benefit of the residents.
Education is the future of any nation. So it's to be paid, to pay close attention. But where I want improvement is the teachers, because teachers can only teach what they know. So our teachers in those schools need more trainings because they can't give what they don't have. What I've observed is that some of the teachers are not even qualified to teach. So they should pay attention to this. Their trainings, they need to be trained to train. If they don't have the training, no matter what facility they put down, nothing will, because it's what goes into the hearts of the children that will come out in the society. So education is very fundamental. It's a vital key to the development of a state, a nation, or any country. So that's my take on that. They should pay attention to the teachers. Because if you have a teacher that knows what they are teaching, the children will learn well and they will understand what they are learning. Teachers determine how, because these teachers are like leaders, they're like role models to the students.
We shouldn't even be thanking them for that. It is the right of every Nigerian to be educated. Constitutionally, at least from the primary school to secondary school, at least, every student, every Nigerian child has that constitutional, right to that educational, stages of the stages. You understand? For me, I believe we are still lagging. So many out-of-school children, especially in the north, we are better off here in the south, but we can do more. We have always taken the forefront in terms of education. We continue to do more. There are so many of our children out there who are not in school today. If the education is made affordable, if classrooms are moved closer to those children, there wouldn't be any need for them to trek miles before getting to their school or entering buses that will take them kilometers before they get to their school. Schools should be brought closer to them, and if it's not brought closer to them, there should be programs, facilities that will ensure that they are taken to school and brought back home. Then again, it must be affordable. It's even, I believe it should be a criminal offense for any family or parent not to send its ward to school, especially where the government has provided the needed classrooms. And I believe, while I do not want to thank the government because it is right of every Nigerian to go to school. I believe they should do more, and they are trying. I want to appreciate them for that.
Corruption not Hello. Alahaji. Right now I'm in Abuja. No. Hello? Adamu. Right now I'm in Kano. Yes. When I get back, I'll just call you. Look, what is wrong with you? I'm talking on the phone and you are gesticulating and doing. What's wrong with you?
Daddy, where exactly are we as we speak?
Are you alright? This is Lagos.
Well, you just lied to someone that we're in Abuja.
Keep quiet. Who told you can tell an elderly person is lying?
Daddy, you just lied. And by lying, you are raising corrupt children for the future of Nigeria. That is corruption, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country. In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
Wait. Do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the go-to app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back. That is truly commendable by the governor. Our next story focuses on the commissioning of the new bus terminal in Abule Egba suburb of Orile Agege Local Council Development Area in Lagos State, which has now been integrated into a expanding network of modernized public bus stations connecting various communities in Lagos. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu officially commissioned the newly completed Abule Egba bus terminal, aimed at improving and facilitating seamless mass transportation between suburb and other parts of metropolis. Can you take a look?
This new Abule Egba bus terminal has officially been opened to the public by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu alongside his deputy Femi Amzat and other stakeholders. The launch is part of Governor Sanwo-Olu administration's commitment to build a seamless and integrated transportation network that will provide Lagos residents with improved daily commuting. The governor, speaking at the event, disclosed that the project is a fulfillment of his pledge to upgrade the public transportation system for the people of Lagos.
Today, here in the ever-bustling Abule Egba, we're here to hand over to the people another public infrastructure that will aid their seamless commuting from here to other parts of Lagos and even perhaps to other parts of the country. This infrastructure reflects our commitment to continuously enhance our public transportation system. We're strengthening connectivity and we're improving the overall experience of our commuters. We are dedicated to taking ongoing steps to advance and to modernize public transportation across the state. You see that in addition to the blue line, to the red line that are in operation, you are aware that we are making moves to kickstart a 68-kilometer green line from Marina to the Lekki Free Trade Zone. You are also aware that we're in discussion stage, haven't done some feasibility on the purple line, which is a 60-kilometer from Volkswagen, which is an offshoot from the blue line, to all the way into Ogun State, the redemption camp by Mowe. We believe these are all connectivity that will enhance the rail infrastructure. You'll recall sometime last year that we went and signed MOU with Czech and the Ministry of Finance Incorporated to bring about the fusion of the Green Line.
And I'm happy that work is starting very soon. Discussions are in advanced stages. Designs and drawings are being completed. And before the end of this year, you will begin to see the construction of that all-important Green Line project. That project, when completed, even has a capacity to carry well over 600,000 passengers at its peak. And so this is big public transportation solution that we're about. I'm happy that thank you. I'm happy that our rail infrastructure continue to contribute to the mobility of Lagosians. To further enhance that, we are also improving and enhancing our bus services. We are anticipating the arrival of new CNG buses and electric buses by the third quarter of this year. They are being produced as we speak, and I believe everything will be done preparatively to begin to receive these buses before the end of this year. This, we believe, would be a major addition to our current fleet, which will improve availability of buses and reduce waiting times at all bus corridors.
Lagos State Commissioner for Transportation Oluwaseun Osiyemi, through his permanent secretary, said the state policy reflects the government's commitment to safe, reliable and affordable transportation for all residents.
This is more so as the movement of commuters, goods and services from place to place are vital and inseparable aspects of global and urban economic survival. Over the years, the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation has reflected the contemporary realities and the vision of the present administration as regards beginning Lagosians with an efficient and effective transport system. This informed the various policies the ministry adopted to ensure reduction in traffic congestion at places where otherwise motorists and commuters spend many unproductive hours in traffic. You will all recall the executive order signed by Mr. Governor on traffic management, following which very critical junctions were identified and remodeled to mitigate traffic gridlock. The government has worked on these junctions to engender better traffic flow. We can attest to the salutary effects of such improvements on Allen Roundabout, Lekki First and Second Roundabout, and the ongoing improvement at Tony Okpebi Allen and at the border subdivision areas. To better manage traffic-related issues such as overspeeding and indiscipline on the road, the government, through the ministry, has installed ITS in some areas of Lagos State. We have installed e-police sites at Allen Avenue Junction and Nuruddin Olookoko Road. We have also installed road signs to inform motorists of these regulations. About a year ago, Mr. Governor unveiled the state transport policy, a roadmap to Lagos' brighter, more effective, efficient, and sustainable future. Mr. Governor informed that the policy became necessary to eliminate the barrage of transport challenges facing the state's transport system, ranging from traffic congestion to pollution and inadequate infrastructure. The Lagos State transport policy is built upon a foundation of inclusivity, sustainability, and innovation. It embodies the government's commitment to providing safe, reliable, and affordable transportation options for all residents, regardless of their socio-economic status or location within the state, as well as integrating our various modes of transportation. The soon-to-be commissioned Abelegba bus terminal therefore reflects the letters and spirit of the Lagos State transport policy. It is to provide a central place for connecting to different parts of Lagos, and based on this, I want to congratulate Mr. Governor on commissioning yet another impactful and life-changing infrastructure for the Abelegba community of Agege and the entire Lagos State. Mr. Governor, please be assured of our desire to continue to work until the last hour of this administration to bring your vision and that of the state government to reality.
This administration prioritizes traffic management and transport as the first pillar of its Themes Plus agenda. The Lagos State government has been and is still investing in the provision of infrastructure for public transportation, including rail, bus services, and water transportation. To properly coordinate bus operations in communities, bus terminals are necessary and are thus provided. Bus terminals are important because they provide a central location for passengers to board and exit buses and connect to other forms of transportation. To date, the Lagos State government has provided bus terminals in Ikeja, Oshodi, Transit Interchange, Aja, Oyingbo, Yaba, Ojota, Ifakoijaye, and now at Abule Egba. Iyano Ipaja bus terminal is currently also under construction. Like other terminals before this, Abule Egba terminal has loading bays, a terminal building with a customer service area, a waiting area, spaces for restaurants and other commercial services, offices for ground staff and other BOCs, public conveniences, a water treatment plant, and provision for green energy, amongst others.
This development has integrated Abule Egba, located in the Orile Agege Local Council Development Area, into Lagos's growing network of communities connected by modern public bus stations. Abule Egba residents have commended the governor for the project but urged for affordable bus fares.
Abule Egba too is moving forward. If you look at the Abule Egba, they've changed it compared to 5-10 years backward because I lived at Songo, something like that. But they've changed the face of Lagos as a whole, and they are building gradually. So I will tell Lagos State as a whole that they should remember us in Badagry. Presently, I reside in Badagry. God will help them. They've tried concerning the express road there, and God will help them to do more and more to all sectors, all areas in Lagos State, up Lagos State, up Nigeria.
When you are partaking in BRT buses, it applies to everyone, whether you own a car or you don't. It decongest the traffic on the highways, so everybody don't have to put their cars on the road. So sometimes if you don't have a special function, you can just leave your car back home and make use of the public transport like the BRT. So the one in Abule Egba, I think it's like, you know, and because that place is heading towards Ogun State, Abeokuta. So if you are able to get there faster, you can, you know, continue your journey to other areas. And people that are staying there, they can easily live like in outskirts of Lagos, while they live there. And they can go to work and come back on time without wearing out. So it's helping the masses a lot.
Sanwo-Olu added that the state expects new CNG and electric buses by the third quarter of 2025 with the aim to enhance Lagos bus services. He also urged residents to take ownership of the project to prevent vandalism of the infrastructure.
Welcome back. Lagos residents are truly reaping the benefits of taxpayers' money. Kudos to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and his team. Well, that's all we have on this episode of Lagos Voices. I'm Sydney Okafor. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
you.